Hey girl. So I want to talk about how to actually switch off your masculinity. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you may be familiar with this concept of masculinity and femininity. But for some of you that are just new to this, you may not even know what I'm actually referring to. And this concept of masculinity is so pervasive in our society right now, being a strong, ambitious, driven woman. And for many, many years, I didn't even know that I had like this entire other side to my being called femininity. And so if you want to know more about what femininity is, you can check out my other videos. But today I really want to talk about how to actually turn off your masculinity so that you can allow yourself to connect in with your femininity. Because it's really easy to just stay in that masculine mode all the time. And it's something that, like imagine this, you're working all day, right? You have deadlines, you are driving projects, you are managing so many aspects of your life. And then you have a date scheduled at 6 p.m., right? Right after your work week. And you go and you run off to this date and your mind is still thinking about 20 things that you need to do and 20 other things that are, that just happened. And you go and you meet this guy and you're just so in your head. And that is what I mean by being in your masculinity. And when a man sees that, they basically see you as another guy. I hate to say it. They don't see you being a woman, or they get confused because they see you on the outside as this damn sexy woman, but they see your head and you're in your head, and they can't actually connect with you being a woman. And in case you haven't noticed, men don't want to date other men. They want to date women. Well, some. The ones you want, hopefully. I don't know. Let me just scratch that. So, knowing that you want to date a man and the man wants to date a woman, that you are this beautiful woman, you can't show up to a date like a man, right? It sounds obvious, but how do you actually show up as a woman? It seems, and it can be harder than you may think. So the first thing is just recognizing when you're being in your head and making a conscious effort to let that go. So what it really means to connect into your femininity when you're in this presence with a man means to be in your body. And it means to be in your feelings. And I'm not saying being in your feelings like being really emotional and like dumping all of your emotional problems on them. They're not your girlfriend. You have girlfriends for that, right? I'm talking about being in your feelings of just knowing and feeling how you're feeling in the moment. So he asks you, so how was your day? And instead of going into reporter mode and saying, it was really good, but I got late on the subway and then this guy, spit on my shoe and so I got really pissed off at him, like giving him a rundown of the events that happened in your day. When he asks you how your day is, you go into poetic mode and you say, I've been feeling really overwhelmed today. You won't even know. It was a very challenging day. I had this experience and it made me feel really frazzled, but overall, I'm feeling good and it feels really nice to be here in your presence, right? That is a very different attitude and essence of connecting with him than being in your head and analyzing all of the different aspects that happened in your day. So that's just kind of one example of how you shift from being in your masculine to being in your feminine. It's about moving out of your head and into your heart, out of your mind and into your feelings. And sometimes that even just starts with, instead of telling him I am, you tell him I feel. And for those of you who maybe you're past the dating phase and you're with a man, you've been with a man for a while, but you still notice yourself getting caught up in your head and in that masculine energy, connecting in a feminine way, it really is tapping into more of that goddess essence. That's really the only way I can describe it. When I think of a goddess, I think of a woman that is poised, she just kind of floats, right? She's very open-hearted, she's nurturing, she's sensual, she's sexual, but she knows her value and she knows her purpose and she knows her worth, and she just allows herself to just be that and let men see that. And so a lot of times when we are connecting with men, we are trying to prove something to them and show them that we have our shit together, or that we're independent, or that we can handle things. And so we don't actually just allow ourselves to just let go of those walls and just be ourself. When we can just be ourself, that's when the sweet side comes out. That's when we say, oh, honey, let me rib your feet, oh, let me pet your head. Like the kind, the nurturing side comes out. And that is what men crave. That is what they need and what they want. They want someone that they can feel safe to open up to and be around. But they can't feel safe to open up if you're not open first. Think about, you are this lighthouse, shining this vision and showing them what's possible. But they don't do it on their own naturally. They need to see you exemplify it. You are their goddess, showing them how to open up. So that's what I want to leave with you today, is just really thinking about, when are you in your mind, when are you driving and doing, and when are you in your goddess essence? And can you make that shift? And it just starts with awareness and taking a second to pause and get back to yourself, get back to how you're feeling, and then showing up from that presence.